And now we're back, so we're going to need to change that ad. And I hadn't caught it before, but it's about 2013. But y'all get it. It all started, and I am going to be one of the featured guests. Mine is in February. But Bernie Segal, I think, is this week. And Kara Watson's this week. I can't remember the third person. But these are all interviews that you can listen to and learn from these people. And it's the FYI. That's one reason that I like it, and that's why I want to be on there. We do offer specific things as a discount rate, so that you can, be in or come, and if you sign up and do all this blah 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 thing. Anyway, I'm not really into that because right now Spirit is saying, "Shut up, let's talk about something else." Got it. Okay. So now, as I look at the 9, there's 9 particular energies that are systems that are running, and the one that they're talking about right now happens to be the chakras. So I'm going to make one of these videos. I really am, to show how you to test the chakra and what tools you can use. So what I'm going to look at is put your arms up, Jen, and you're going to put your palms out so it goes back to back. Okay. So now be strong and don't let me pull them apart. So I'm going to tap the 7th, and so basically maybe oh Jesus, 7's out, 6 is out. You are going to be holding, right? Be strong. 5th is out. 4th is out. What the heck? Okay, 3rd's out. Ready? 2nd. Really? You are holding, right? She has no chakras.
Yourself. Yes,
she has no chakras.
Yes, I'm holding.
So there's many different ways of doing this. The first one we're going to do is we're just going to do an experimental. This has a little light on the end of it, and I'm going to just hold it right here on the hairline. And there's 2 points. We're just going to see if the particular infrared energy is going to do anything specific. Now I can feel it do something in me.
That's
so,
exciting.
Yeah. Well, if you see me twinge and make faces,
I'm glad.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
You just feel it.
You bring your client in so that you can get healed. Awesome.
Exactly. Okay, so Jen, do me a favor and put your arms up. We only did it for a couple seconds, but let's just see. Be strong. Don't let me pull them apart. I'm going to tap the 7th. I'm going to tap the 6th. Tap the 5th. The 4th. 3rd. Okay, so let's check the 2nd while we're air. Be strong. So the lower 3, which is all about survival on the planet, are not functioning. And so then, oh my God! So now it's her oh my God points about survival, and it goes back to the earth element, the earth element. So
6 months old.
Inside the womb at birth, 1 to 5. Actually, it's not. It's 6 years old.
Oh, I got the 6 right.
You got the 6 right. 6 years old. That's when. It's when you started to hear differently. That's when you've taken it upon yourself. I'm not going to. Okay, say I'm not going to let him get away with it.
I'm not going to let him get away
Inside
with it.
the womb at birth, 1 to 5. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so that's not the one in it. I want justice.
I want justice.
Inside the womb at birth, 1 to 5, 5 to 10. That's 6 years old. I want justice. So it's important to hear the words. So I want justice. And at this point, she said she's done. She can't get her power back. And so now it's like she learned about what justice is. What's the difference between that and I can't get away with, or I'm not going to let them get away with it? You won't forget. Now you just want, I want to make them to pay so that I can get my power back. And this is where a lot of people that have been abused will, when they grow older, and then they're dating or they're married or whatever it is, or partnership, business partner, whatever it is, you will take and your template of what happened as a kid and place it on the person that is now in your life as you chronologically age, and you have to play out that story. Now, I want justice. I have to look at this because this is her lower 3 chakras. Now, is the pain still there? Are you okay to look at it now?
I think I'm okay to look at it.
Well, then move your arm.
Okay, so it's better than it was. It still feels a little sensitive.
So she's not apprehensive saying I don't want to do it. She actually thought, Yeah, I guess I can do it. So with the 7th and the 6th chakra, it gave her the certainty she was looking for, that she can do certain things. So
at the 6-year-old, I wonder if it's just what was going on in the household, or if it was when I started engaging with those people up the street.
Engaging in the people up the street.
Yeah.
Okay. So because again, that's that earth element, you're moving outside of your tribe. So you have the first is about the tribe, the second is about people, and the third is about yourself.
So the first experience of having to go walk to school on my own at 6 years old, and not being able to do that because the people that I was supposed to trust and work with, that was shattered.
Right. Okay, so energetic wise, somebody say, I would watch, I just saw you, what would you do? I was checking the energy about where is it out. And I'm going to be using the Baba wand, and the Baba wand has a handle. It can be any type of handle, whether it's cork, wood, metal, it's stone, whatever it is. It doesn't matter. You can penetrate to it through anything. And then there's a copper or steel springy wire. Then it comes out like maybe 3 or 4 inches, and on the end of it I have stones. This is a fluorite and sodalite, and I can't remember the second. I'm too busy staring at what I need to focus on. So basically my hand wants to follow a particular pattern, and so a little bit further, the Baba wand will move on its own, okay, and it'll move forward, backwards, or this is breaking it up and just showing you on camera what it is. So now I'm going to have you put your arms together. Don't let me pull apart, and I'm going to check your third, and to check your second, check your first. Okay, so the third and the second stayed in, the first one is still out. So there's different ways that you can use it. I probably could use the Baba wands again. I can use, but now I'm going to look at, let's see, these oils. They're soapathic oils. I don't want to do the heart one. I think I'll do this one. This is the chakra. What is the chakra Jen? Helps balance your chakras. And it's like an
Smells good.
Just smelling it triggers the brains. Put your arms up. Now let me pull it apart. I'm going to check your first chakra, second, third, fourth. Now I'm going to check the back side of the 6th chakra, and it went out. So in this case, let me have your wrist. Turn it over. Now let that penetrate for a few minutes. And if she smelled longer, too, but I'm going to just let her, we're not going to let her smell yet.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to have her do is just sit with this for a few minutes, because a part of her is balancing. And all of these things, all these tools work on they're all energetic patterns, and it's so important that each one of you understand it's about how everything in synergy works together. One can't have without the other. You could. I didn't have bells and whistles, but at the same time you needed to know that there's something else, because you don't have enough confidence in yourself or whatever. Now, is the pain anywhere near you at all in that shoulder?
It's not in the shoulder, but it goes into the reproductive system.
And is it pain, or is it ache, or is it a dull thing, or what?
It's just a dull throbbing. Okay,
so the circulation sex meridian had everything to do with the 2nd and 3rd chakra, because that is about circulation is everywhere. It protects the heart.
Depleting.
Yep. And then when it goes to the feminine part, or even the male parts, whatever it is, it's the reproductive system, and it is about depleting. It is about suppressing. And now
squashing who I am so that I can fit into other people's world.
Right. So now by using some of these tools, have actually narrowed it down so she can refocus just a little bit more about what is going on. In this case, she says, I am aware the fact that it feels like it's setting down my 2nd chakra or my reproductive organs. And it goes back to how, in the sensory system, is that now you're just going to hear shit. You no matter what you do, how much energy you use, you're going to hear out of their mouth reasonings, excuses, stuff that's going to support them and how they control and manipulate. But how are you supposed to stand up to that is what I'm hearing.
Right, and I'm thinking of my little 6-year-old self. There's no way that I could. I had to absolutely fall in line with these people, their daughters, or who I would walk to school with, and they were very caustic and abusive people. And then she was my Girl Scout leader, but and absolutely I had to fall in line. He was Marine and Fire Department, and I absolutely had to. There was no way that I could be anything outside of what they expected.
So earlier, my chart on my papers here said that there was a sabotage to identify the location, and so that's what I end up doing. Now it is you have to sabotage yourself, which means you can't be yourself, and she just explained why. Because the energies that be were in charge of her, and they were the ones in charge, they are in control, so you're going to have to sabotage yourself. You're going to have to obey everything that's on the list. Now, you knew what the list was. When I said you got up this morning, I knew that there was a list that you had in your head. And regardless, she knows if she would have placed that list of thinking, well, maybe this is what I think of her, or that I have my own list, and she's got to come up and anticipate how to behave in this house. And see, she already knows on chronological age that she's in charge of her life. And she don't have to protest it, she don't have to rebel, she don't have to try to fight it. But now she has to duke it out with herself, because she is used to sabotaging herself for the greater good of everybody's big mouth. So as their time event, meaning the date's coming and approaching, is going to come and it's going to go, and she's not going to be able to do what she needs to do. She had already asked in advance, she obeyed the rules and said what she needed to say. She did it all. And what ended up happening was that she was still being told, you did it wrong. No matter how she did it, she was told she did it wrong. And so then she says, okay, she healed a little. She got it down to 1 or 2. And like I say, get it down to 0. And so then what happens is that she knew to some degree that she had to go find out how else it's related. What's your face doing?
Contorting in response to pain that's happening in my body.
Okay, so where's the pain right now?
It's in
the second chakra. Mm-hmm. We're going to get to you, so shh. Okay, so what happens is that now she has to do, because we were talking about how she wants justice. She doesn't want to get away with it, and she just told you why. There is a list of rules and stuff like this, and as a 6-year-old, you had to come in line, and even though you're not blood related, if you didn't obey, you still get your ass whooped too.
Right, because the parents, my sister and I were latchkey kids or whatever at that age, and I don't remember where my sister was particularly in these instances. I knew that I felt like I was on my own, because she would have sold me up the river. That's nice. Whatever.
Those are just your memories.
Right, I can't focus on whether or not I'm blaming her or whatever it sounds like. But, you know, my parents trusted that these people...
Well, they're outstanding citizens. They're firefighter, they're Marines, they know what they're doing, they probably do all kinds of stuff that says that they're citizens that were wonderful.
Right, and then having to... But yeah, it was the era of, you know, my parents, it didn't matter who the adult was, you listened to the adult, and they had the authority to put you in timeout or beat your butt or whatever it was going to be. And if it wasn't these parents, then there was the next set of parents down the road that we went to, and then they were in charge, because the parents, you know, just said, keep my kids in line. However, that's going to happen.
So now what's interesting is what comes up is in the thoracic 11, skin, kidney, urinary tract, bones, and the possible physical things could be skin issues, eczema, boils, raw skin, psoriasis. And it says does not drink enough, needs more liquid. This chick drinks how much liquid a day, and so that doesn't apply to hers. But if I go over to what chakra, which is the 3rd chakra, then in this case it's contact problems, insecurity, fearful, feels weak and afraid. How'd you feel at 6?
I'm terrified, because at 5 years old, we got to ride the bus to school, but at 6 years old, it was well, now you're out in the world. Good luck. Hope you can walk to school and make it on time.
Yeah, you didn't have the option.
No.
Okay, so now the coccyx, or the anus part, the hemorrhoids, itching of the anus, pain, and on sitting. So all I'm going to ask you is, do you have issues in that area, energetic-wise?
Energetic-wise, yes.
Okay, so knowing that that is the coccyx tailbone, or it's a coccyx part of you, and you know that those two are working in tangent, so in that particular area, it's kind of like frozen energy from what I can see, and it is thought management. You had, again, sabotage yourself because you had to correct your thinking. You had to grab the list and check it and make sure you followed it all. You had to find the mannerisms, you had to find what you had to obey. And it's not that she knew she didn't trust them, but she also knew that she trusted the fact what was going to happen if you didn't. Because she didn't have it happen to her as much as she watched the children that happened to, which is their flesh and blood. She's standing back going, oh my God, as the observer.
Right, hoping that it wasn't going to happen to me, but knowing that I couldn't tell my mom.
Okay.
Because on whatever level, I knew that they had their own stuff, and I wasn't going to be a burden to them and say, oh, maybe PMB, I can't, suck it up, just go deal with these people and be fine with it. I took on that responsibility.
So what I want you to do is that she just told you how she knows, but what I want her to do is I just checked her and she's weak, especially when I pointed down into the reproductive area. Now this oil is a soul sense, levels of love. This is all the different kinds of love. So I want you just to smell it through this nostril, which is her right nostril only, because I'm just looking to see how it can tap into that part of the brain, and I'm going to just check to see if that's strengthened it. So I'm going to point to the reproductive section, and it did. Now is it going to be temporary? Yes. But you don't know how to receive love in there, because in this case you have love in there. You're not lacking love, but what is her love equal? Deprived, abuse, can't be me. So what happens is that she can't have dopamine in her brain when it comes to the next progression of how you're supposed to go and do things in life. Did you hear that? In order to do the next progression, to do things in life, you had to get up, get yourself ready, go to school, walk to school, go to these people's house, see all this abuse, and then go to school, come home, and then you can have mommy and daddy. And then you got to start all over again. And it was that you had to kind of grow up and being thrown into, because you said the latchkey world. Again, we're not blaming mother or doing anything. It is how she learned what love equals that I have to do it myself. There's different ways of looking at it, but it goes into how she has to sabotage herself in order to survive that moment, and that is why her stomach meridian happens to be affected by this the most. Okay? Until she's ready to actually pull that memory out, take and dissolve those negative emotions, one of the main key things that she has to do is understand this is how she knows herself. This is how she knows it. So what is she really addicted to? In some cases, you're usually addicted to something bad because it gives you a high. But in this case, you can also be addicted to that I have to be addicted to this pain. I have to think this way. I have to, because that's part of survival. So
right, so if it's not happening like it did when I was growing up, then I will, take that template and apply it here, I'll apply it here, I'll apply it to this person. Okay, I'm not, I look like a sane, rational person most of the time. But no, it has to be, and yes, I have the absolute freedom to be who I am now in so many different ways, because of so many different reasons and what's going on in my world. But no, I've got to place this world of restriction in.
So now my curiosity is that you as a kid wanted justice, but what your justice is at 6 changed. Did you see those kids do something and then the parents gave them justice by beating them? Did it get twisted somehow? We're first asking her consciously.
Like if the kids misbehaved and then the justice was to have that corrected? Yeah.
Okay.
So there was a beating, whether that was the case, where there was a, oh, now I'm going to feel like I'm going to puke.
Sorry, breathe in.
Where they were legitimately misbehaving, whether it was grades in school, it was a behavior, it was whatever, but then there was also the time where they lived in absolute fear that was what it was going to be. And even though we went out, they had this little clubhouse kind of thing in their backyard, and we go out and hang out there, but there was always the fear that it was going to happen.
Yep, and we'll find out more about that after this break. Just play a song. I would like to just say to Jen, I'm watching her going, ah. So then I now know callers can get through. But her justice as the adult is that she learns the kid that there's a promise of pain. So you kind of want pain to happen to them?
The abusers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be.
And not the ones that are the mom and pop from some other family, but the ones you know that feel like they abuse you. The adult ones now, and what happened then. Now come on now. Remember
Probably.
the 3-year-old saw her sister's hair get twisted up in the thing and how enjoyable that was? So, if you can really look at her face, that's hilarious.
Thank you for explaining to people.
But you're 3 years old. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is she needs the thought management to use her healing tool, thought management, and stick herself in her own little rectangle box. Let's take the first caller.
We have area code 201. You're on the air with Brenda and Jen.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Courtney.
Hi, Courtney.
Hi.
And how can we help you, dear?
Well, my life is kind of a wreck at the moment.
Aw.
My boyfriend recently broke up with me, and the guy that I'm actually in love with doesn't really, well, he just kind of gives me mixed signals for like over a year now, and I don't know, I just feel like I have no one to talk to, all my friends are distant, it just, I want to know why my life is such a wreck.
Okay, so do your friends are distant because they don't like your decision? Or they just don't get you? Or are they judging you?
Because everyone else is more important to them than me. But
Oh,
all their
okay.
other friends are more important.
All right, that's good. That's a good observation. All right, number one, from what I can see, that you had
5 years old.
5 years old? Okay, one thing I see is that you had to, the relationship had to break up so that you can honestly start going after the particular dream or relationship that your heart really desires. Even though you may have really enjoyed your relationship and loved him and all that, you said that there was this guy that you really liked more. So the universe was telling you, okay, we got to clear the way so you can go and maybe not after this guy, but to go after more than what you have. So I'm going to pull the relationship card. Now Jen said something about 5 years old, so we're going to just start doing whatever comes popping up. Deception. Okay. Deception seems to be the key, and I'm going to look at, see what happens. Your brain goes into stress mode or an emergency. You know, so if we balance the cortis, that might be helpful. Now they're pointing to soul sense, if she had levels of love oil. Well, let's see what else, though. Her heart. Okay, there we go. How do you... Okay, so love equals deception. Oh, crap. So love equals deception inside the womb at birth, 1 to 5. Guess what age, Jen? She learned that at 5. So at 5 years old, you had an experience that love equals deception. And there's a part of you that knows that you want to go after love because it gives you that dopamine, it gives you that high, it gives you that love. But it can only be temporary because your 5-year-old says, I made the decision that this is what that experience happened to you. This is what it means. Did you lose somebody at 5 years old? Did somebody die? Some relative, family member, friend, anything?
I'm trying to remember the age that one of my nana passed away around that age. I don't know if I was particularly 5, but
okay, energetic wise, that it does play into it. And then, had you had animals, or weren't you allowed to have animals?
There was one, a cat. We had to put him to sleep after like 16 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, so, so that's not, you never had a hamster or anything when you were little, or did this particular person you love have an animal that you liked?
I don't think so. I'm not certain.
Okay. We'll let that go. No big deal. Jen, give the reading real quick, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so I'm using the Wisdom of Avalon deck. Just have to be clear about what I'm doing. Collect, bear, and read. So there's the Death card.
Which is going to be death or about change.
It's about transformation. So the first card that came with these cards all came up reversed is Merlin, which is about alchemy, justice, and balance.
Okay.
And so it's looking. Right now the life is out of balance.
Okay, and she's already said that, so the cards approved that.
Right,
okay.
They're just affirming that. So then the cow is about nourishment, abundance, asking and receiving, and that's not occurring. The risk card is reversed. It doesn't feel safe to take the risk. This is what needs to transform, is the ability to be able to take the risk, to get to ask for what you want, which is this card, to restore balance, to make the change on an alchemical level.
So now, your cards are confirmed what you said and what we're doing. Now I'm going to look at a projection scale a little bit further, give us more information. Why is that the boyfriend had to break up? And it's because it was your heart connection. There just wasn't enough heart connection to feed and nourish that relationship. So it has nothing to do with blame. You understand? You gave. But the thing is, it's about
wanting to be nourished in another way.
Yes, and you need to be nourished in another way, and your
the
heart knew
alchemy
that as well.
Needs to change.
Now, as we look at friends, find that there's more important things to do and can't put you on the list, and that is about, again, it goes back to the heart, because you feel hurt. There's like a wounded pride. And it goes back to when you were 5 years old. You had love, but it like left. I don't know if your 5-year-old mind understood the meaning of what happens when the physical body completely disappears and there's no more, but it was enough to make you confused about what is relationships. And so your heart is going, but I need love. Now I'm going to look a little bit further, go, why did the friends find things more important? Because that's how you were able to define what it means. So at the time when you were 5 years old, you didn't really have the peers around you to help you through the process of change. So you are going through change right now, and nobody is supposed to be there to help you. Are you used to doing things alone?
Yeah, all the time.
Then that's just a normalcy. So how you do anything is how you do everything. So that is a particular pattern that can be resolved and corrected. So we understand why the friends aren't there. We understand why the gentleman broke up. And going a little bit further, your heart just says that you didn't get the process out. Now what's interesting is that I feel some of this pain that is in your system is not even yours. Being that you're 5, you probably picked up everybody adult's way of feeling, and you didn't know how to process it. So let me just look a little bit further here. They had the fear of letting go. They didn't want to let go. And there's a part of you deep down that knows that you're okay with this transition. You know that you want something. You're just tired of the repetition. You're tired of this same shit happening again and again. When can that stop is important, because there's a part of you that actually understands loss and is okay with change, but it's the process of how to get the change that really disturbs you. Does this make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really like change. I like things to stay the way they are.
Okay. And that is the little girl that says the fear of change. But again, that's not yours. That is actually the people that are around you. Do the people when you were growing up, did they seem to like they really had to control things?
Oh, yeah.
See, they couldn't stand 1 ounce of change. But I still feel you as a free spirit understanding that change needs to happen. Even though you say that you're familiar with how you don't like change, you will actually let it go a lot easier, the feeling of how you know you don't like it, more than the people that really hate the change because they're the ones that made the decision. So we're all about healing tools. So if you wanted to heal these chunks, you just have to say yes, and I'll show you what tools you need to use. Jen drew some more cards. So Jen, say what you got to say.
So I was asking, so how are you going to go about this transformation? Looking at the last cards were about what needed to change, and it's about getting still, getting quiet, and listening to you have the innate instinct, you have the ability, and being able to trust that the blessings will be there, will show up, show themselves, and then it's where is the passion, where is the fire, and maybe using the fire element in a safe way to ignite
change to occur.
Yeah, thank you.
So, have you listened to our show before?
No, it's actually my first time.
Okay, and do you use healing tools in your life like emotional freedom technique?
No.
Okay. There's several things. I sell Soul Sense, but what it is that you can find any type of oils and stones and things that can give you confidence and courage, and they vibrate with different frequencies. Now the healing, there's free healing tools on our website, and I think by focusing on how you don't like change, because I know that deep down the little girl inside you says, yeah, but change is constant. It's like you were aware that you don't have to control everything. You need to, I know you have more freedom to let that go. So if you were going to heal, one of the things that I would just tell you to do would be placing your hand on your forehead and your hairline. Either hand will do. And as you cover up the whole forehead, you're covering up these stress points. And when you're thinking about how you don't like change, or you think about how the change just occurred, the boyfriend breaking up, your friends not being there, the person you like not looking at you, having your hand up there on your forehead and you think about these things, put everything on a scale from 0 to 10. Oh, God, yeah, 10, he doesn't like me anymore. Oh, yeah, he's ignoring me. Oh, these people aren't there for me. What will happen is you'll start to remember and think and remember and think. You're going to do it anyway, but a healing tool will actually help you bring the blood back up to your forebrain. Because you're covering up the hairline, your body's going to actually start breaking down those chemical peptides. See, for every thought you think, you create chemical peptides, and you have to start feeling the way that you're thinking. And when you start, again, placing that hand on your forehead and hairline, and you think about all this stuff, the number will start to come down of the chaos. The self-talk will start to slow down. How you believed it all to be true is all going to start to just, I'm not attached, I don't care. And you're going to start seeing things the way that you are meant to see them, because this is just a lens that's been waiting to be flushed away. You understand now what's happening because you are supposed to start becoming more you and not the product of other people's thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. The deception of love, or love equals deception, it needs to be addressed. And I feel like there was a lot of accusing. People, either the people you're with, they like to accuse you, or just accuse in any form. Do people accuse you?
Yeah.
Okay, that really confuses your heart because you're like, what the hell? And some of you can say, I own up to, and the other ones you're like, oh, I don't think so. Because people don't even want to stand up to their own way that they have to take responsibility. But it confuses your heart. So if you went a little further, I would have you go and do hope therapy, and there's the video that you need to watch so that you understand when I give you the code L1D. L represents the left wrist. 1 represents the first place that's on the pulse point, and D represents that your thumb needs to push in deep on the pulse point, and then your pointer finger goes in your palm, and then your left hand goes on your forehead and your hairline. And you're going to think about how you're being accused, about how your heart's broken, about how people leave you. And what happens is that you're really deeply going to just start removing some of these patterns because you don't need them. They're not you. They don't have to be you. Now, Jen, tell her where she could go to find those healing tools.
Okay, so our website is www.mwreveal.com. M for medicine, W for women, reveal.com, mwreveal.com. On the left-hand side of our front page, you'll see healing tools. Click on healing tools, boom, you get a pop-up window with a great number of healing tools, one of which is Hope Therapy. So you want to go to Hope Therapy for the code. You write down the code that Brenda just gave you, and it will all make sense once you watch the video on how to do that.
So re-listen to the archives. You can also find the OMG point, which is the hand on the forehead and the hairline if you need more information. Look through all of the tools and realize that, focus on the fact that I hate change, or do you watch other people hate change and they look how they try to control it? The need to control it, there's like, it's part of you thinks, I have to control it, but yet at the same time, I feel like you're supposed to be in a whole other adventure. School, not new friends, but friends that are like-minded, new love of your life. I just feel like this whole new change is coming so that you can actually find you and be happy with you, and you don't have to follow everybody's rules. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that sounds awesome if that's going to happen.
And I put the link for Hope Therapy in the chat room. I don't know if you're in the chat room, but I put the link in there.
Okay, so
I'm actually on the website now.
Excellent,
Great.
Excellent. So just look through everything and, call back in, but do the healing, because if you just think it without the healing, you're just going to keep repeating and reinforcing that reality has to be this way. Try them and give them a color and number, because without doing it, you won't get the experience that we know that's there. And we wish you good luck, my dear, and please call in again.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Have a great day.
Many blessings.
Many blessings.
You too, bye.
Bye. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take a small break. When we come back, we'll take caller 720. Okay?
Yes.
Communication right away, then usually that it had to be kicked in the teeth, and you don't want that response. But yet, you have to panic. And so, are you for sure you're going to get student loans?
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's the
put all the
timing.
paperwork in today. I had them, but they needed a paper for me stating that, like a doctor's note, because I had a loan discharged a long time ago. So I did that.
Okay.
So
knowing
my
that.
guy said everything's coming together.
Yeah. So you just have to reinforce. You already know that the landlords, hey, I am getting this. I'm not kidding. You can even show papers. They're probably like, okay, yeah, no big deal. But it is that panic. That's what you're used to, and that's what your soul's asking to heal.
You're supposed to honor your commitments and agreements, and you're supposed to do this, and it's supposed to be a certain way, even though that you know that you can go with the flow, that maybe that was the learned program.
Well, they keep telling me that.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, so it was the learned program. So the other card that popped up says...
Yeah, I grew up in a family that always freaked out about everything, so...
Okay. That makes sense, and that's what you need to heal, because the other card says when you see the flying card reversed, it's a gentle reminder that there are times to take flight and times to remain grounded, and now you must avoid overreaching. There's still work to be done before you earn your wings. Be patient. You will seek, and then you will get your answer. So the thing is, you're going to get your answer. The thing that I would tell you that, do you have to really go into the freak out? They said no, because that really is just the product of the environment of when you were growing up. How you know the freak out and how you can actually stop this. So if you wanted to calm down and let things flow and learn how to trust that synchronistic energy, then you could actually use a healing tool to focus with to help you heal this. So are you interested in the healing tool?
Sure.
Okay, it's free, and what we're going to tell you is the code. So you're going to write down R3D. The letter R represents the right wrist. The number 3 represents the third position on the wrist, and the letter D is in dog, so you're going to push deep. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to think about how you have to spit out, how you have to check out, how you know that you, all the stuff we just talked about. You're going to put that on a scale from 0 to 10, give it a color, and then when you do the hope therapy, you will then let it naturally just start to dissolve and resolve. So, Jen, where can she go to find the healing tool?
I did put, I put the link in the chat room. Our website is www.mwreveal.com. M as in medicine, W as in women, reveal.com. Front page, look on the left, healing tools, and you get a pop-up window with a bunch of, just a wide variety of our tools, and hope therapy is one of them.
Yeah, watch the video before you do it.
So write down the code. What was the code?
R3D.
So just write down that code, R3D, and then that will all make sense once you watch the video.
You may want to also do EFT or the meridian tapping, because it's like you have a phrase. Even though I'm not going to be able to do this, you know, even though I'm not going to be able to pay rent.
Even though I'm supposed to freak out about everything.
And when you heal that phrase and use that phrase, put it on the scale from 0 to 10, and all of a sudden you don't have it anymore, you're actually not only going to be helping the brain, but you're going to be helping the frequencies of the way you communicate with people, the entanglement cords. So you really don't have to do that according to your body. That's other people's stuff. No, we're not asking you to blame. We're asking you to say, you know what, it's not mine. I'm going to let it go.
Right. That's how it showed up.
It's a learned pattern of always having things taken away from me.
Ooh, great, because you know that phrase. Listen, it's taken away from me. Now that we have a little bit more detail, you then can use hope therapy on that, and then I would have you hold R2S. There's your clue, Jen. Are you used to having your stuff taken away?
Oh, yeah.
R2S, right wrist, second position, soft.
I'm not supposed to hold on to anything, because if I put my energy on anything and say, oh my gosh, I like that, I want that, or whatever, whoop, there it goes, out of my reality.
Okay, so you were a clue to help Jen on to heal something she had to do. So again, when you hold R2S, you're going to think about how people just take things away from you, you know.
Yeah, that's like a huge thing, because I got like that when they told me I had to have that paper, and I'm like, crap, you're taking my student loan from me. What the hell are you doing?
Yep.
And then my guy went, just chill out.
Just chill out, yep.
Calm down and go get the paper.
Well, good, at least you listened.
Go get it. And I got an adjustment out of it, so it was, you know, it's a paper I had to have from my doctor. So I went to the chiropractor, I said, I need your help.
Yep.
Please adjust me, and then please do this for me. And he did it, and it was awesome. And
Excellent.
I got my back straight now. You know?
Excellent.
So that really helped. And I want to say something. You guys, I've talked to you guys before, and I've been doing that tapping. All that stuff that was going on at work, I would just tap while I was there. Just because they just agitated the living crap out of me most of the time.
Yes.
I don't work for them anymore. I made them fire me.
Okay.
They wanted me to resign, but I made them fire me. So,
good for your favor.
Exactly.
Yes, that's why I did it. I knew that it would work to my favor if I had them fire me. But the tapping really helps me, and I've been doing that since. And
good.
I have a book that has all of the psychological and emotional meanings in it of physical stuff.
Ooh.
You know, like illness and diseases and
what's the name
all
of
that
it?
stuff. And so, and I use it and I tap with it.
Yes, good, because
and it
exactly.
does amazing things.
Yes, and what's the name of that book?
It's called, get it right here. It's like a 650-page book. It's called Messages from the Body and Their Psychological Meaning.
Yes.
And this guy, he's an older guy, he channeled like 5 or 6 of these books.
Yes.
Yep.
I got that book. I totally recommend it.
That's what we use all the time.
And I love the fact of how you say you do it, because that's what we do. We take and we open that book, we see what's familiar, and then we tap it out, hope therapy, or do whatever healing tool. But good job. Good job.
Yeah, I've got to do something else. Nothing that has, well, the prayer, I use prayer in this book, actually. I've been using prayer in this book.
Oh, well, good, good.
But I'm finding out that it's not getting deeper.
Correct.
So the tapping does do that.
Yes, when you start combining more modalities, like for instance the oils, It's the soul sense oils that I have. You know, when you smell them, it actually helps to release some of those old patterns. And then when you tap on top of that with how you know it, because you're going to teach your body how to process it out. And that is the one main thing that we miss in this world, is knowing and remembering how to process out. And so I'm so proud of you. Keep doing it and keep calling in. I'm so thankful you are.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
This just kind of showed up when you were talking about the oils for me.
Uh-huh.
Do you do classes where you teach that stuff?
Not how to make the oils. I do classes to help you understand the spiritual education that you need, and then there's other classes that are coming up to how to use certain tools, like discover who you are, what you need to heal out. So those are coming up, but as far as to make the oils and other things, no, I haven't decided to do those. Maybe in the future.
I live in Colorado, so I know you guys are out east, aren't you?
Yeah, somewhere
Yes.
in there. Yes, and
Yes.
Michigan.
So maybe in the summertime I can bring you guys here and have. I don't know how you feel about this, but it would be great if you could teach how to do those blends.
Oh, you want the oil
oils.
blends?
I'd like to learn them.
I will put that out to Spirit. We do travel and teach classes about all the other stuff we do. If you're interested about some of these classes, then I want you to go to the website and then email me, and I want to make sure that we're friends on Facebook, and so you can see them, and there's a community I have started on Google. But I also have decided, because last week was the first day, I did the 1-hour class, and I have it on video as well as having a PDF form. So if you're really interested in that, I will put it out to Spirit about traveling and teaching about making the oil blends. We'll see what Spirit says. Okay?
Where in Colorado are you?
Yeah, where are you in Colorado?
In the Denver area.
Oh,
Oh
great.
yeah, I lived in Aurora when I was in junior high.
Oh wow, cool. Yeah, I live on the west side in Wheat Ridge, but yeah, I'm gonna be moving here around the early, like late spring, mid to late spring, and into my own place. But I would like to have you guys come there and have people come for the classes.
Awesome.
And my idea is to have you guys put together more than one class, so that when you come out here, it's worth your time and your energy.
We do have packages.
Right, if you go to our website,
we do have
MW Reveal, we have that.
I'll go ahead and send you guys.
Okay, so we do have package deals that we do on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and things like that. And if the host puts together and has a lot of people, then they can learn how to earn their tickets.
Right, and we've got all how to be a host and those guidelines and that kind of thing. And I put the link for the Google community that Brenda started, the Becoming a Spiritual Human community on Google. I put that link in the chat room.
Yeah, and if you want the other parts of the teaching, then yeah, I can send them to you. We are going to be doing a new class on this Thursday. So I'm learning to gather people that are interested in this so that we can create an explosion of healing, in this world. So thank you so much for calling in, and it's a pleasure. Thank you.
All right, take care.
All right, bye-bye.
Take care. We'll be in touch.
And we're so thankful for everybody that does this. The show went so quick. And Jen, do you feel better?
Yeah.
You just want to take a nap now?
Yeah.
You're not as tired and grumpy?
Maybe.
Maybe. Come on, that's not helping us out.
Yes, this was amazing stuff, and I use it all the time, and it helps my life.
Right now, she's just tired. We want to say thank you to everybody, all of the wonderful people that we see as we come in. There's June, Kimberly, Queen Goddess, and 3 C's, and Lady Sarah. I think I can't read it from here, but all you wonderful people, we thank you for your support. And again, pay it forward. Help us out where we want to get out there and to do our job to make sure people. We want to be the shift. We want to be the change. And mental, it's the mental self-talk, and we're learning to teach people how to process, how to resolve, so that it can evolve in such a much better way. And you're welcome. We're glad we were able to give you a wonderful show, because I had my computer problems this morning. But hey, got it to work, and we're all good. So remember, tonight we will be on Sepia. You don't even have to be in the chat room if you don't want to. Just go ahead and click open to the radio's place, and that's sepianc.com, sepianc.com and /radio, and be there from 8 to 10, right? Eastern Standard Time.
Correct.
And you can just listen. We appreciate that too. Because most of the time we've learned that it's not about taking callers as much as about education, teaching about the jam session, and really getting into bringing it what it means to become a spiritual human, learning to process the health, put the dopamine back in your head, allowing you actually to have joy instead of fear. So we really appreciate everybody. So Jen, anything you want to say?
Thanks for tuning in, listening, and supporting.
So I grabbed a card that says the eyes of the heart. And it's Mario Dungwe. It says, I rediscover the real beauty in everything and every person I meet. I see beyond the personality and its superficial nature and see with my heart the energy of love that dwells in all of us. I know I'm filled with wonder in the presence of God that is. The eyes of the heart allow me to see the divine shining everywhere. I now live in the true light. Goodbye.